reincarnated to keep evolving.
Exactly, and this is the point. If you're sitting on the threshold of death, and look at that profoundness, right? And we just go scientific on this. E equal mc squared, like we said before, m equals e divided by c squared, right? So matter is energy slowed down through consciousness, through awareness, through intent specifically. So if I'm going to lose my body, I'm going back to energy in that ethereal sense. What determines how I come out and in what shape and form? Intent. This is why making peace with ourselves is so critical. I don't want to go into the thing all stressed and worried. What the hell am I going to do? If that's what's going on in you, you're just going to intend and manifest that precise shit and crap and worry and whatever convolution there is. So it's really where you are at is vitally critical for when it comes to shifts and changes like that. Now, whether or not that's actually so and real and true, I don't absolutely care, but I don't want to take the chance that it might be so. Simply because I'm aware of equal exercise. So I don't want to take any chances. I want to be in the best spot I can be. So I want to be at peace with everything. I want to be cool with everything. I want to have no regrets, no recriminations, no frustrations, no botherations with injustice or unfairness. It is what it is. I got to make peace with it. Furthermore, right, life is a gift. It's a profound, profound, profound gift. Nowhere were you guaranteed X amount of life. The fact that you got one freaking microsecond, one moment of life is a gift. The fact that you got more than one moment is a gift upon a gift. So, if you in any way fucking complaining about whatever shit in your life, you're being ungrateful for the gift of life that you have. So make peace with that. Don't be a freaking sport brand. Say, hey, you gotta enjoy the fact that you actually had this amount of time. Make peace with that. Say, fucking brilliant, man. I had life. I had some of it. I don't care how little it was. That's it. I had it. Huge, huge, big deal.
Thank you.
Your
gratitude is brilliant. I mean, that's it.
Exactly.
You wake up every day with a new,
exactly.
a new day on life. You can choose to do whatever. Choose to have a whole new life
John,
if you want.
real quick, this is a potential sub-course, grief counseling.
Yeah.
I've helped a lot of people with this, especially widows who've lost their
Yeah.
husbands. When I make that point, that life is this profound gift, and whatever you get, you're thankfully lucky for.
Right.
And I said to him, okay, just imagine you out there in the void and you got absolutely bugger all, and somebody says to you, hey, I want to offer you this gift of life.
Yep.
But I only got a few seconds to offer you. You gonna take it? Yeah, you take it.
Yeah.
So the fact that you had this amount of time with whoever you had, it is an inordinate gift beyond gift.
Yeah.
So appreciate the time you did have instead of complaining and lamenting the time that you didn't get. It shifts them entirely. And then I say, furthermore, right, as a responsibility point, think of it, if you're the one there, how do you want to leave your loved ones? If you leave in a miserable way, that's not a good way to leave. Now they have their last memory of you all kind of stressed and miserable and bothered. That's what they now staying with them, right? Now I don't want to be that way. I want to be living in a peaceful place. Furthermore, right, I say to you, if you're in grief and you're stressing and you all unhappy about your loved one, let's just for argument's sake say they are somewhere where they can be looking down at you.
Yeah.
Man alive, are you now being loving towards them? They're seeing you suffering and being miserable. You're going to make them miserable. They're going to go, fuck. You can't do that. If you truly love them, you have to be happy. And you have to celebrate their memories, not lament your grief. Because that's a selfish deal. If you truly love them, you're going to keep them in you and you're going to have them with you in a loving way and you celebrate their life. Now, when you really see the merry widow, they talk about their husband, he was a bit of a jackass, but I loved him, and they speak to him as if he's still with them.
Right.
And it doesn't matter, they got a new husband, they still talk about the guy who's gone. They're celebrating that life. That's the way to deal with people who've passed on. When I point this out to people as an option, as an availability, man, they just shift. And I mean, Mary, you've seen Mary post in the group, she posts a lot, just little short comments, but she actually posted a post that from this conversation, I said, write out your story of because he died of cancer, it was a long drawn out thing, it was very miserable, but she shifted to this, and now she's just happy and she's on with her life. Her connectivity to her dead husband is one now of joy. So it's a very big deal, this death perspective. I mentioned this in terms of so many courses we can do. This one is a very big deal. People struggle with it. And the same, the other one was how to deal with the moods of others. That, you bring up that, how can I learn to deal with the moods of others? Oh, Man, people all want to know that. They feel influenced by the moods of others, and it really, really, really bothers them. Yeah, making peace with it's, again. So key little word in this, John.
Hold on.
Not a problem. Oh, that's it.
Hey, what's up?
That's okay. Don't use the word death, dying, passed on, moved on, none of that. Change it all to transition. They transition, you transition. Your relationship is transitioning. That's it. That's a good breakup. Fuck that word breakup. What a shit word when you transition in the story. Which if you do it nicely, you transition, okay, we used to be intimate and lovers and all that, now we're friends. Or, we've transitioned where we don't really speak to each other anymore, which is all cool. Transition in the same with relationships, because, when you're still maintaining your relationship, just in a different way. Right? It applies to relationships and in any form of relationship, including death. Right? It's still a relationship. Just because they're dead doesn't mean I don't have a relationship anymore. It's just a different type of relationship. It's transition. That word transition, very, very powerful. I mean, particularly with your relationship issue. You can just think now, just think of anybody when you talk to them and you say, well, me and my ex, we didn't break up. We say, oh, transition. Are you still with John or with Susie? No, we transitioned. Transition. There's no implication it was a fuck up and it's negative and I was rejected and all that shit, right? Which breakup implied. We transitioned. Oh, we're friends now, we transitioned. We have a different relationship. We transition. You still have a relationship, it's just different. It's so huge. Just that one concept is transformative when it comes to any kind of relationship. With your boss, with your work, with dead people, no matter, same thing. This is actually helpful. I've only called you Myles since then. Funny how the brain works. You like that transition?
Is that even an option?
You can see the power of it, right? And we know when I engage in those things, it's basically little counseling sessions really, but I insist they use the word transition. That's it. I just flat out insist. That's it. You can't talk about your ex and your new relationship, your old relationship in any other way without using that word transition. When they start using that word transition, it shifts them completely. Hey, by the way, opening jars, left hand better than the right hand. Because of the direction. You pull in, you've got more power putting in. When you go this way, you're going out, which you have less power. You're not utilizing the leverage. In, you use leverage. That's a simple thing, but it's a little bit awesome. Yeah. It's pretty interesting, right? Even though your left hand might not be as strong though, but because of that leverage, it makes it much stronger. Quite fascinating.
Thank you.
What are you making, gorgeous face?
I don't know, I'm making up. Never mind.
A creation. Love it, love it. Always magical what you do, Olivia. Always magical. Don't get chocolate flavored chocolate. You like that, yeah, the transition. It's it. You feel the resonance of it?
I feel it for my audience.
Exactly, for your audience. Yeah. Now, let's use transition with you. You had a relationship too. A relationship with yourself, with your old self. Transitioning to real Myles. It's a lifelong transition, but in the short term, real concept, as from the, I don't even want to use that term. I really don't really like that term either, and I agree with her that hey, it's too connotation-y, and it brings too much into anyway.
No, it's more defining than I
So
was
defining, exactly. But anyway, you've made a profound transition from the previous to now, right? It's nice to think of a transition though, because you can't quite say it's a break, no, because there hasn't been a break. hasn't been just an immediate shift. It's been a transition. It's the only word that's truly appropriate, right?
Incremental too.
Transition. Exactly. Transition is incremental. But when we understand that, when you say I made a transition, there's always the implication that yes, I could have shifted kind of, like I've transitioned from one house to another, but you always have little things that maybe still coming over, there's little bits of things still left undone. So it has that implication that it's always ongoing, which I like too. But also, that when you transition, there's a tipping point where you can say, I'm now here or there. You know what I mean? Like when you're transitioning from one house to another. At some point you've got more of your shit here and now I'm here, not there anymore, psychologically too. So the same thing with your transition. It has that implication that you've got to kind of say where you are at in the process and start to resolve things so that you can be either one or the other. You can't be both. So there's a lot of subtleties that are implication that come into it. It's very cool. Plus, again, when you say transition, especially in a relationship, we've transitioned. There's no negativity involved. There's no, recriminations. There's no blame. There's no guilt. There's no shame. There's no negative ego downside. I've been rejected or whatever. No, it's just transition. It's no longer appropriate. And a profound experience of this, but a real gift from a girl song. There's a little story for you here. So I had this girlfriend just before final exams of high school. And well, it came about, the counter in science class, that little high counter. Nice ass. So I said to my friend, I wouldn't mind getting into that. And she was like dating guys in varsity and all that. One of those girls. Very sophisticated girl. Beverly Hills 90210 was school. And he kind of just looks at me and he just laughs in my face almost. He's like, you got no chance. And I'm like, so you really believe that? I said, okay, I didn't necessarily make the effort to, but if I really wanted to, I could. And I said that to him. And he really didn't take me for real. And I was really serious. I said, well, fuck you. So I made an effort to get to the girl. Exactly. Anyway, he said, if you get it, I'll eat my hat. I brought him his hat and he didn't eat it. So fucking bullshit. Anyway. But so that's how the relationship came to be, right? So it wasn't necessarily I got into it just because of me wanting to prove to. Because then I thought this was it. It's a matter of self-honesty. Because when I said it to him, I said, if I really wanted to, I could. Didn't matter what his response was. I thought I was being for real at the time, but I couldn't say for sure because I hadn't actually put it into practice. I hadn't actually verified it. So I had to kind of then do it because I had to prove it to myself. Okay, but it was irrelevant, right? So anyway, so I did this. So we're in a relationship, and it was good, sex was good, and all that shit. Alright, well, it was great. But there wasn't something to it in the mornings, and she knew that. So we're sitting down on the beach one day, and she said, you know what, you're too much for me. I don't mean negative one. I don't mean to say you, so I'm just being honest. You're too much for me. She said to me, she says, you're too much for me. So I don't mean to say it bad way, I'm just being real. It's working. Very sophisticated way to say it. Very, very sophisticated way. She made it very clear that she was understanding the fullness of our circumstances. So that's where the transition comes from. So she said, well, as much as the sex and all the physical stuff is good, it's not going anywhere because she's too much. No problem. So we transitioned just from having, going out together, from boyfriend to just being friends. When I break up, it was a transition because she acknowledged the reality of the relationship. So it was a transition. It's the most beautiful thing ever. I mean, I love it. It's a true gift, It's the only one I ever had in that case, because then that's what started the 6-year deal. From there, then the next was when the spiritual, magical woman came walking into my life. I can't say I've ever had a breakup. I can say it. I can say it. But it's pretty cool, right? I mean, it was a pureness to it and an honesty, and I was like, okay, cool. And I understood that, the way she said it, I had to acknowledge the truth of what she was saying. It was real. It would be stupid to carry on. It would be inappropriate. So it wasn't a breakup, it was just a transition. Fantastic. Really profound gift there. I wrote a little post about it. Thank you. Avril.
Avril? What'd you say to her that first time?
You need to get to with her. I didn't say anything specific. I inside. I just had that intention. And I just let that energy come. Just the energy of connectivity. Hey, you're cool. I'm into you. I want to get with you. You know? And then kind of like starts. There's more going on. That was it. Just from there. Just like, and she was like, she said to me later, she said, I don't quite understand how this happened and what. First of all, I absolutely have a policy of not taking guys in school. Completely inactive. And she's one of the brainiacs in the class, you know. And so and she did well at school, but she had to work at it. She wasn't like an automatic brainiac, you know. So she was very diligent in her schoolwork. Second of all, this is right before fucking final, our, you know, graduating exams, you know, matriculation exams, which is a big deal, you know, because in that school, that environment, you know, you either did well enough to go to university or you were just shit, you know, pretty much. So that was the second reason. And then she said third was like, okay, you kind of cool and all, but, you know, I never really ever thought of like going out with you. It just wasn't on my radar. So it's like all these factors were against, oh, and I'm not Jewish on top of it. So not that was a big factor, but it was one. No, I'm not. She. So she was just trying to point out that when we did go out, that she said like every factor possibly that could be against us going out, and she just gotten out of a relationship. She didn't want to be in another relationship, so it was like the complete worst possible time for this to happen. It didn't matter. If one sets that will and intent to do things. I was motivated externally. I don't have that ability any longer. I had it in kind of choose a motivation, kind of go after stuff. I don't have that thing.
Some of the
Kind of
garlic,
comes from external.
it's not a good thing. But I
don't
was
have
thinking we
rice
could
Which I'm
have
pleased for
rice
because,
noodle.
you know,
I was thinking
yeah,
we
okay,
could
I proved to
have,
myself that I could do it,
like
and that's
do,
enough.
actually
I know
I have
if I
other
need to, if
miso.
that comes where I have a
Well,
pressure where I
miso
need
we
to do
could
that,
add that.
but at the same
Yeah.
time,
wanna
when
do
you
it.
do pursue
What
things like
what
that,
spices you
it
have?
sets unintended consequences.
Actually, it's,
So, and you kind of subvert things, because now I'm taking the whole world and I'm deciding what's specifically right.
Oh, okay.
You can't do
They
that.
kind of with a thin noodle.
If I have
looks like
absolutely no
Chinese
choice,
food.
then yes.
So,
Other than that,
Oh, this is ready.
I don't know. If I do
You
get
wanna
that,
share?
I don't make anything happen. That's why, you know, when you say about the challenges, I have no problems with challenges though. I've done them enough times, like the changing from one end to the other. I've done it enough times that I know again from it's not really not a problem. Oh, that reminds me on that. The habit shifting, because that's where we are now, to pay attention to the habits. Yes, I shifted from one end of this to the other end for this exact reason. Consciousness developing, awareness mechanism. But only do it if you have time and space and energy to make a project out of it. Otherwise, don't. You either do it fully, where it's a maximum project, or don't bother at all. Otherwise, it just becomes a distraction and a waste of
Little
it.
bending thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Overbending, right?
So I want to be honest with you here. A lot of these concepts are not new to me, and
Of course not, no.
I think to get the most out of this, me personally, I would need a little bit more of an expedited session.
I'm trying to go quickly. We're going to skip some of the sessions. What's happening now is because we've covered much of the underlying logic. We've already done that in our conversations. It's also not new to you, and that's the whole point. We want it not to be new to you. So this though, this particular session right here, yes, some of it is repeating, but it's being in amongst it. The particular mechanism, there's one or two more mood changing and habit changing techniques that come.
Yeah.
So no, I understand that, and that's really good though. Hang in there, but I understand where you're at, and I'm very cognizant of it. However, use the time and opportunity to say, hey, you know what, this is something that's deep inside of me, and use it to reaffirm it. Because the fact that it is now coming back at you as an obviousness, it makes you aware of what is you. So use it in that way. Shift to not saying, oh, this is new stuff, looking for new stuff. No, shift it to saying, this is what's already in me, and this is what's important to me.
Appreciation too.
Right. Not just self-appreciation, but for that fleshing out and the solidifying of the self-conception.
Yep.
That's the power of oneness. Now the fact that it is obvious, oh, this is obvious to me, which means it's me. Right? So you're now making all your notes now become not of, oh, this is new to me. No, this is actually not new to me. This is obvious to me, which means it's me. Different shift, right? That's that little tweak shift though. But now you're using the obviousness instead of like, hey man, I want new stuff. No, you want to hear the obvious stuff because you're using it to flesh out your self-conception, to fill yourself out, to make it real. Emphasize, make yourself real. So yes, it is self-appreciation, and like we said yesterday, that's why I mentioned it yesterday, because I see this now, to take it and say, that self-appreciation to the next level. And when you start writing out obvious, yes, there's appreciation, but you take it first, say, hey, now I gotta really say, yes, this might be my stuff, but can I use it? Can I use it? That's when it gets out, right? You gotta claim it. Yeah? It's no good to say, I know this stuff, it's obvious to me. Can I use it? That's a big deal, right? Very big deal. Very big deal. Okay, so we'll get to, John can just read this when he's got a moment here. So we have a new power habit for the start of the day, and for during the day, and now we'll add one for the end of the day. Can't read this here. Before going to sleep, we'll add a daily recap and takeaway. This power habit is much like the takeaway session. We replay the movie of the day in our minds and pull out what was usable, valuable, significant and meaningful. Especially we want to focus on that which changes us and which we want to use and change ourselves. Use to change ourselves. So basically, at the end of the day, we do this little recap, I think in the next slide it says, basically like a director looking at the daily takes. You know, getting all that little movies of the day, and particularly we literally run from the start of the day right through the entire day. And we say, okay, crap, nonsense, boring, nothing significant. So you know what, right at this moment, I could have done that a little better. Now you replay that movie in your mind. And now you're not just the actor, but you're also the director. Right? So you're director and actor all at the same time. And you run that through, you know, if you've watched, you know, you've seen them do lots of takes on stuff, right? I mean, the reality show maybe not, but when you see actors really intense to get it right, they'll do it, they'll change it, they'll do it, they'll keep tweaking till they get it right? We want to do that with a replay in our mind. So we want to go through everything, how could I have done this differently? And you keep, until you feel satisfied that you found a way to actually resolve it against your list. That's a very powerful habit, because yes, that virtual replay retrains the mind, because you're doing it with such an intensity and such a focus, such an emphasis. So that's very wild. Plus we're expanding our awareness and understanding and options, so that next time a similar situation comes in, because we're doing it also from the director viewpoint and actor, both perspectives, we develop that overview abstract perspective. So the next time a similar situation comes through, we have more options to choose from. We're kind of prepared, so it's a way of preparing ourselves. Plus, whenever we do that kind of a virtual reenaction, especially if we really get into it and we're really running through it, to the body inside, it doesn't really make any difference. It's equally real. So the learning is actually there. It takes place. It's really huge. I think you mentioned it here too. At some point, we want to go and look for that situation and put ourselves deliberately into it and then implement our resolutions as best we can. So we actually want to do that verification and substantiation. It's very powerful. So this is a huge habit. But just that habit of going over our day like that, well, for one, to improve things, but also going over it to say, how could we do better in where we didn't do well? And then also we want to say, hey, what were my takeaways from the day? You know, I knew at the time there was kind of more going on, but it was too fast. Now you replay that movie, what are the implications? You do a read of it, you know, you do like The Born and you kind of pull out all those things. Okay, oh, I see now. oh, you know what, I didn't realize, sorry, you guys last night. Oh, I didn't realize this person actually had an agenda going on. I didn't see it at the time. But now that I replay the movie, I said, oh, they were just trying to play me or work me or whatever. Yeah, just for argument's sake, right? Through that review, we raise our awareness. It is an absolutely incredible, phenomenal thing. Plus, you said, what did I learn today? What did I really, really learn today? What do I want to take away from it? What do I want to go to sleep on? That's the last part. What was significant to me today? What was the big deal? In other words, where have I grown today? And then you kind of boom, you lock it in. Very powerful. And same time, there's some stuff. We at that same point in that recap, right? We get to stuff which didn't make sense. And we didn't have time then to figure it out. In that recap, going back, oh, you know what? I forgot that thing didn't really make sense to me. Let me figure it out now. And that
Thank you, I'll take a little bit.
That so
I don't know
transformative.
if I want to eat the whole thing
I
right
really
now.
spend that time because all those little lessons of the day, you don't go wasted. So in other
Thank you,
words,
Angel.
in that, this whole recap, takeaway, figure out session, you grew. Wow.
I just used the.
Let's see.
What dressing?
And if we can't figure them
I
out,
just used
we
the.
make a note.
Rice
Notes both
wine,
mental and
vinegar,
actually physically. You know what? I can't quite figure this out yet. Let me make a note.
Sesame oil.
Let me set my intent
I wanted something.
to be open
peanut oil,
for
so I
resolution.
wanted something.
So that now you say, this is something I still want to figure out, and you have that openness. You know when you said you have that openness, stuff kind of comes. And you say, okay.
Experimenting.
So that's very powerful. Part of this procedure. This is right there in the last single thing. So we want to make sure is that life detective thing. That if there's that little tiny thing that's off, with a criminal, that you can't touch. It doesn't add up. But okay, 99%, but there's that 1%. You never write that off. Got to resolve that point because otherwise the whole thing doesn't work. Same with ourselves. So we insist on coming to that resolution. We leave it open until we get it. Okay. And then maybe you have to backward engineer and the entire world changes. But so be it. That's why we don't go and do that. Otherwise you just live in falseness, right? We especially want to think things through, and a big but, and this is vital and essential, we want to make sure we always think things through to the end, right? So this is what we said before. If we don't go all the way to the end, that thinking it's wasted or worse, it's misapplied. And that's very important to realize, it's that people think things through and they, more or less. Your inner bureaucrats, they don't care for that. So that energy just becomes utterly wasted if you don't think it through to them. Because you're going to just have to redo it again at some point. So you have to think it through then. Now you're free of that, and that same energy
You put this
now
nutritional yeast on your
add
salad
some-
or in your
Yes.
drink?
actually growing
On the
rather
salad.
than just spinning your wheels and looping over and over and over on the same shit all the time. So that's the key with thinking through to energy management. Ridiculous energy management.
I used to mix it in my drinks and, actually everything. Years ago, when I lived in
I read
California.
that already.
Somehow I got
This
out
one?
of the habit.
No, the bottom of the
Oh, right. Oh, okay. I thought I skipped 2. That's why I was going back, but I didn't. Another powerful addition to our daily recap is to go over our actions and behaviors and check, make sure they can be improved. Okay, I think this is just what I was basically just saying it to you what's on the slide. But we are the power directors, so same thing. Different and experience couple of actions. So here's the key though, with where you at though. Alright, I'll just note this. I'll seek some of the situations. We're not going to leave it there. We seek more. Just in the future to test ourselves. Here's the key though. Miles, yes, I'm saying a lot of the stuff
Do
is
you know
obvious.
what?
I know.
Oh, this should be cold enough.
The key is to
I
get
put
the
some
application.
tea in the
That's the point.
ice.
You know it's obvious, but you have to be
Yeah,
very,
I was like,
very, very suspicious
Yeah.
of memory knowledge.
So it
Think
doesn't
we
get
don't think
watered down.
we want that. I'm very cautious of that because there's a lot of stuff that I know but I can't use because I haven't actually
What kind of
figured
tea
out
again?
how to apply it.
was the?
So
I actually
this
do
is-
this.
What's that?
I actually do this.
Oh, cool. I would imagine so. I mean, I was saying, none of this is a surprise to me if all of this is not new to you. It's making it fully conscious, fully aware. That's the key, because then you start to live it.
Magnificent.
Marigold.
Just look at it from that point of view, that this is about bringing it into full conscious awareness to live it. I would not, I would absolutely not, neither would you, go into any kind of agreement, association, or endeavor with someone who didn't see this as something, who isn't already this.
I just went one-to-one with this.
That's a skill to articulate
Maybe I should go,
That's
in
the-
terms of the taste.
our ability to express it,
Sorry?
articulate it, not necessarily
You know, the ratio.
knowledge.
With what?
With the rice wine vinegar and the
You might pick up a couple of
For
things
that
here and
dressing.
there, that's new, that's always how it is. But
yeah.
in the main, in the whole,
And after you did, another one?
one-to-one. Yeah.
might not be the particular wording or phrasing, doesn't matter, underlying the essence
It's
of
so good, I'm gonna finish this whole bowl.
anybody
Oh,
who's genuinely
Hold.
made an effort to self-discover. It's just obvious stuff. All of it. But again, I said, somebody's not, it's not there in you. If it wasn't in you, forget it. Then what's the point going forward?
Sure, a little bit.
I mean, now to get somebody to where this is obvious and understandable, that's
I
all.
was just thinking that in my mind.
Plus, you
You
know,
read my mind.
if they're not coming to it in a way where it's deliberate, they're just basically in their knuckle and
Avocado is like a universal
Can you
food.
imagine?
Oh, it's like any kind of
It becomes it's an enormous task. Ah, and it's a pain in the ass, and you're battling and struggling. Fuck that, I'm not done for that shit, right? Not at all. So understand that, that's what I was saying to you right from the start. It was about appreciation. I wanted to share with you that we appreciate you and what you are. You were sitting at that table, that's precisely what I was trying to do, right? And also I would made a deliberate, specific effort to demonstrate the sophistication of the perception. And I'm not just signing you on to say, oh, Myles, you're wonderful, good. I'm not just, taking you off here, right? No, I'm showing you, I'm saying why exactly. So I demonstrated the sophistication of perception to start, right? You remember? And then from there to say what it is about you.
It's funny.
There's method to the madness, it's very deliberate, purposeful.
I mean, this is so basic, but
Because
I'm
we recognize
really
with
interested
what
in
you are, we have that ability to do
you know,
that
on
really fast.
slivers,
Can I tell you something funny?
tongue
Please.
Perfect.
So my first day here, I got an Airbnb.
You will get no complaints from this side.
Yeah, we're love and light home. I was like,
Ah,
okay, super spiritual, nice. That's what I'm looking
Sit down with
for.
people, right?
And I get in there and they're like,
I'm
they were very
extremely
honest too.
grateful that
She
you're
was like,
doing this.
thank
You
you.
know what would be good yet?
And I was like, for what? Well,
That,
I came to a
what do you call
realization
that
that
salt, not
you
the
type you as a bro.
fully cut.
You're wearing a cutoff
With the-
t-shirt.
Wow.
You get it
And
at like
how could you
cookie,
be spiritual?
the sesame,
blah, blah,
the
blah.
seaweed,
nice.
And,
spicing
Yes,
that.
yeah.
we'd had a conversation, and I was like telling her about what I'm about, and where I'm going with this, and she was like,
I know what you mean, I don't know the name.
you taught me about my own judgment, just by simply being different than what I had expected.
It won't matter in about a
And
minute.
that's something you guys kind of said today, was like,
But
just
it's
the
neat
fact
to
that
get
you
ideas, it's like, oh,
almost don't look the part
you know,
of you're
because
here
everything's sort of
right
coming
now.
off.
Come and sit, join me.
Yeah, there's something different about you.
When we realize we can add to the world, change the world, contribute positively to the world, simply via being aware we undergo profound manifestation. You were just aware was enough to change things. You're aware, in other words, being, you just were being who you were being. That's it. It's enough to change the world. You didn't try and do anything to this because you were just being yourself. Change the world as a result. I love it. I love it. Yes. It's a big part of it. And yes, this is part of the magic of this too. Just don't have expectations. Look like whatever the fuck I look like, I don't care. Whatever I am, it's not what I look like. Right? Sure. And once you get past that, you start, those things, your brain automatically says, I have to let go of any preconceptions. The preconceptions aren't going to work over here. And I do want that. That gives us that freedom of interactivity that we can connect with our real self. We can go into a moment now. We don't have to play the usual games of whatever cliche relationship stuff and have to break through those barriers. Fuck that. Right away. Boom, move into the next step, right? Time is precious, man. Time is precious.
Can I share with you an awareness as well?
Please, please, please.
So I notice I'm moving. I'm doing it intentionally because it's helping me stay more aware. It's also shifting my energy, my mood.
Yeah, I do exactly the same thing on a very regular basis, very often.
But usually I wasn't aware of this. I was just like, oh, I must be anxious. I must be.
No. It has continually like you're stirring your energy, kind of keeping it up. Oh, it's huge. I do it a lot too. Like my legs are almost never still. They are now, which is interesting, because I have my energy so focused and geared to where I want it to be. So it's very cool. No, I do understand that. It's very nice. Very nice that you say it so specifically and that you articulate it. Very powerful, very powerful, very powerful. Finally, our daily recap and takeaway of the day is an act of profound appreciation. Oh, this is huge, right? This is our final act before going to sleep. To get into our power activity of sleeping. I can't read. You read that last paragraph. I can't read. The light is just too reflective.
Finally, our daily recap and takeaway of the day is an act of profound appreciation. This is our final action before going to sleep, to go into our power activity of sleeping and dreaming, filled with appreciation for the awesomeness and magic which is our lives. A most sublime and profound power habit to end our day on.
So that's recap of the day. Yes, let's say it was a day that didn't go well, but if we look at it from an overview perspective, we see the lessons involved. Wow, that's magical. Like, how can I not go to sleep with that? Or something. This habit, by the way,
You work out?
this was so useful for
Yeah,
me
I
in
do.
school.
I mean, right at the moment.
Phenomenal habit.
We're gonna work out later this afternoon if you wanna join.
I'm noticing there's a huge
At
correlation
the moment,
between
I'm not
energy,
doing
intent,
anything,
and astral projection as
because
a tool to more focus your energy, especially
when I
on
move my hand in a certain
different
position,
body parts you might not be aware of, or of the energy that
so
you're
I'm not
providing your brain
doing
to
that. But
focus
there's
more clearly and become more aware.
Probably a smart move.
And conclusion of that?
like the time
So basically,
change
by
on
utilizing this resource,
you know, with
this
my
exercise,
this is a lot
of awareness
things, you
of
know,
your body and your
it's
mind and
like,
your
oh my
energy
gosh.
through
And then the
astral
years
projection.
go the,
Okay.
that's,
I'll explain.
Okay,
that's
okay.
the issue.
No, it's all good. I mean, I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
In order to astral project, you need to have full body awareness,
Watch that.
right? So in order to get that, what you do is you close your eyes and envision every single part of
So
your
like
body.
I used to do
Your
power
hands,
yoga.
and you can focus
And
on
it's so funny, she
your
was doing
hands
this wrong.
moving like this
Mhm.
without them actually moving.
Right.
And then you move your forearms.
Right.
And everything. And once you can control your entire body, you're
So
sending
like
it
hot
to
yoga studio,
without moving them.
Shabashas?
And you're aware of your body. Not only
I
will
think I
you
might wanna
feel
go check it out.
the tension that you might not have otherwise felt, but now I'm going to take it one step further. Let's say you focus that energy on flexing your brain muscles,
Do you think you're right?
right? You're providing energy to your brain, and now you can focus clearly on whatever it is that you want. You might not even have to move your legs anymore.
Yeah. No, I like that, what you're saying. Yes, I agree with you entirely. And part of that exercise, of that internal focus, thank you.
There's some noodles on the stove too.
All right. If you want noodles on the stove.
We'll see if he likes it.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know if he's ever had it.
See? I didn't hear. The frequency doesn't penetrate.
She said it to
It's
me.
an opportunity to
She said
share
it
something.
specifically to me. Kind of focused.
But even if she said it to me,
Right. No, I think if she said it, it's focused.
Taste this.
Anyway, so and part of that repurposing of tension is to feel that tension and to sometimes relax it, or just feel it, but mind alone. You're not actually tensing or not tensing. You're using the mind to feel that tension and to release the tension and to shift the tension. That's the key though. Because I started on this thing. I used to be my shoulder up on my thing and we were doing karate at the time. I remember this one guy told the guy about it. We go, it just continued and then, okay, I'm aware of it and then a few moments later, it just went back up again. So, okay, I need to learn to relax. So I developed the relaxation skills to start on my toes, work all the way up, and my body would go like completely all numb and be completely relaxed, right? Like I was all anesthetized. But then the moment I get up, it's all back again. It didn't solve the problem. I wasted a lot of time doing that practice, by the way. But anyway, it got me into the focus of understanding it. So I realized that it's relaxing is not the issue. It's getting to the underlying intent, which is the issue. And then I started, okay, I want to get that intent and change that. Yes, that does help some, but there's also an understanding that the body needs some kind of tension. Like in engineering, specifically, there's a term for it, it's called intense integrity. The tension that structures need to have, otherwise without that specific tension, they fall apart. So, and the body needs that too. So then it started to shift to repurposing that tension, to going from whatever it is, and for instance, stress and worry, repurposing it to caution or into determination. That's it. It's very simple, Take tension. I'm going to be determined. Suddenly it's all positive. Same tension. Anytime you shift in determination, deliberation, it's empowering, right?
That's what I was thinking.
So you want
I don't know, I felt like in his calves, there was, what it was, something, like his calves needed to be,
His what?
calves, his calves.
Calves. Okay, I was just trying to understand your answer.
something that's happening here, which I have made a conscious deliberate effort to have happen, is the connectivity of
Oh,
implication.
that looks so pretty, the yellow on top of the, I like one pepper.
The more we go on with this, you say, you know what, I have to be honest with you, this stuff's really obvious to me. That's what we're aiming for, is to make the obvious obvious. It is obvious
Good
already.
combination.
Why? But the mechanism that's employed for doing that specifically, as we said from the start, this is a spherical awareness. Each power point, each conception point, each understanding point, it's like a little light on the edge of that sphere. And they're all connected. Light up, light up, light up. At some point there's enough energy to start lighting up the whole sphere. And it starts fitting together. That's what's happening now. It's all starting to connect together.
Extrapolation.
Exactly. Giving that
Have you ever had
overview
Chinese
perspective
food?
of it all. Right. And
Chinese-
extrapolation, exactly. That extrapolation mechanism is
They use
kicking in,
the same
but it's also
rice
lighting
thin
up
rice
the
noodles.
points we haven't
Like a
covered
curry flavor.
through association.
What
Just
is
by
it
proxy they get you.
Chow mein.
Right.
And if we go through something
Chef
that
Luan's.
would have otherwise been new, I'm like, I already understand this because I
Didn't get it.
extrapolated.
Exactly, because you've lit up points around that particular point, and just by association, that light, it lit that one up too. It's like when you have neon
It's not
lights
necessarily
in
curry
you can
sauce.
kind of make
It's
them
not
light up
sauce.
just where
Just
the electricity near it, the energy near it. They don't have to be specifically plugged in. That's that kind of effect. So yes, so that whole picture, awareness and understanding, that's what's basically. That to me, that's
Penis would be
very
good with
exciting.
this.
That's very exciting because otherwise you get people who understand one point and one point after another. It's a very linear understanding. And
Okay,
don't
well,
get the whole
we have avocado.
That's grokking.
I like to think of like recipe
And
ideas.
because we do this,
Like when I'm eating, I'm
and
like,
because we've shifted, we
Yeah,
had an
this would be
intent
good.
to do this. You said you guys want to come with and you want to get over it. I shifted my intent
just
of
love this
communication
thing.
for specifically that.
That's awesome.
So that when we do the horizontal, sideways extrapolations into things or movements into things, it's for exactly that. It's so that we always connect it back. If you notice that whenever we make a digression, I always bring it back to that center column. I tie it together. It's that tying it together, tying it together, tying it together. Then that wholeness starts to follow. So I'm deliberately, yes, we go on a sidetrack, but I'll always bring it back, and then I'll say that point connects to this point, connects to this point. I'll make the connection specifically. That's very powerful. Then you get this obviousness kicking in, which is most exciting. All right, John, the 3 habit shifting exercises just for habit changing. The first one is the wake